Hello everyone, today I will show you how you can get fluorite seeds in Reclamation mod pack. These are the fluorite seeds. You need 4 Imperium essence, 1 fluorite block, 2 demon wheel crystals, a plastic and prosperity seed base. So by now all of these materials should be very easy for you to get, but if you don't know how to get them, I will talk about this at the end of the video. The difficult material is the plastic, which requires 2 hope rods. To get 1 hope rod, you need 4 hope pellets, so we need 8 hope pellets. Now, to get this hope pellet, we need to get substrate. How do you get substrate? I got it with biofuel, hydrogen and water in a pressurized reaction chamber. So let me show you the machines that I needed here. First of all, I used an electrolytic separator connected with a mechanical pipe into a sink for water. With the configurator, shift right click until it's at pull so that it pulls the water out and brings it into the electrolytic separator here. Of course, the configuration, when it comes to fluids, you have to put the back should be input so that it will accept it. Now, you will need to power this machine somehow. You can either put redstone here or you can connect it with an universal cable to a power source. I'm using here an energy cube. It's kind of empty. Anyway, it's producing a tiny little bit of power. In the side configuration, in energy, of course, the right side, if you have the cable at the right side, then it has to be input so that you can take it. If you're using an energy cube, you need to set it to output. Here, it's the right side. Eject has to be on. You can use this to turn it on and off. And wherever your cable is, you have to set it to output so that the energy goes out. Now, if all of these machines are powered fully, you can see that with the green bar here. So if I set the output, the right cable, to none, now it starts amassing energy. That's not very important for what we're doing here, but it's important to know the principle behind how these things work. So you need an electrolytic separator. I used 2 pressurized reaction chambers and 1 rotary condensator. From the electrolytic separator, we're gonna get the hydrogen and the oxygen. We're gonna use both. Now, if one side is full more than the other, you can click here to dumping excess. This will keep it going until they are the same level, and it will dump only the excess, so enough so that the process can keep going. Now we need to set this to output so that we have energy here. So what I did was I used the gauge dropper to get these gases. So let's see this from the beginning. So we need the whole pellets. To get the whole pellets, you need substrate, oxygen, and liquid ethylene. If you look at this machine, it has oxygen and a little bit of liquid ethylene. So, where do we get the substrate? Biofuel, hydrogen, and water. We get the hydrogen with a gauge dropper. And we put it in another pressurized reaction chamber. Now, the water, which we will also put with a gauge dropper, or you can supply it with a sink, but you can do this thing. Take water and put it in like that. Just the right or left click. Now if you want to remove whatever is in the gauge dropper, you shift right click and it disappears. So we don't have enough hydrogen. Let's take more hydrogen. So with right click you put it in. We're missing the biofuel. To get the biofuel, you need a crusher where you can put melon slices and it will produce biofuel. There are other ways to get biofuel with moss, rosebush. Basically, there are here 34 pages of stuff that can give you biofuel. Leaves, seeds, whatever. I just had a lot of melon slices. Of course, you need to power your crusher. Just put some redstone if you don't want to hook it up into some energy network. And let's put biofuel here. Now this will give us substrate, but it will also give us ethylene. This is important because in order to get the pellets, we need oxygen, which we will get from this machine, but we also need liquid ethylene. Now, ethylene is not the same as liquid ethylene, which is why we need this machine here, the rotary condensator. We will put here ethylene and it will give us liquid ethylene. Let me take the liquid ethylene, which is ready because I've been doing yesterday this. Oxygen. Let's take some oxygen from here. Now, as this is working with the biofuel, we will get substrate and ethylene. Let's grab the ethylene and put it in the rotary condensator. This will now turn into liquid ethylene. Of course we need some sort of power for this machine again. I have it hooked here in the same energy cube. And then we take the liquid ethylene with left click and put it in this pressurized reaction chamber. with right click. Now all we need to do is put some substrate in there, and it will start producing the whole pellets. And that's how you get it. Of course, for each machine you need to configure the power connection if you have one. I can assume that you can put these machines next to each other and send the ethylene into the rotary condensator, and then from the rotary condensator send the liquid to this pressurized reaction chamber. And you could also set the electrolytic separator sending hydrogen to this machine and the oxygen to this machine, but for me it wasn't worth doing this because I don't want to think too much, and with the gauge dropper it's very easy. I just needed 8 of these things to get the fluorite seeds, so unless you need a kind of a mass production of whole pellets, that's just fine. And we have 24 whole pellets. Now it has stopped because it's night. Let's think. No, because we don't have substrate, I think it stopped. Yeah, we're out of substrate. So let me very briefly talk about the other materials. If you have any issue with transferring the gases, you can also use a basic chemical tank as a buffer. It's not really necessary, but if you're unsure, you can do that. So you will need 2 demon wheel crystals. I think that this will give us what we need. I mean, by now you should be at the end of Reclamation if you are trying to get fluorite seeds. For me, it was the last seed I got. So you just get it from the raw crystal cluster. I'm keeping all the crystals here. And then a fluorite block, you would need to create 9 fluorite. Of course, you will not have fluorite essence, so either from bees or you can get the ore from the orchid, and then you can duplicate the ore with I'm trying to see if I have one here. With alchemy. Yeah, these are the ways. And then Imperium Essence, by now you would also know how to get it by using the oh, where's my machine? I see, I moved my machine upstairs. The metallurgic infuser, basically. allows you to convert inferium into prudentium, into tertium, into imperium essence. You can check this here. In the metallurgic infuser, you use source gem with tertium. To get tertium, you use again the metallurgic infuser, mana steel nuggets with prudentium essence, and prudentium you get from some type of essence, elemental essence, with inferium essence, which you are cultivating hopefully somewhere in a field like this one. So I hope that this was helpful. This is for sure an end game stuff. Resource generation, for me it was the last seed of all. I even got all of these before I managed to get this one. That's basically because of mechanism, because mechanism is kinda weird, guys, kinda weird. It's probably the hardest mod, I'm not gonna lie, the hardest mod of this mod pack. Did not have a lot of fun with it. Nope. Okay, see you next time. You can also join me on Twitch. I stream sometimes if you want to watch something chill in Reclamation or other mod packs. Goodbye.